everyone, it's Shannon and welcome back to the Also Archives. If you are new to my channel, my name is Shannon Also Brooks and I am thankfully going to be a first year medical student starting in just a few months. So I'm super excited about medical school and being able to share my journey with you all. But currently on my channel, I'm just really sharing a lot of the process that I had to go through to get to where I am today of being a future medical student. Aside from that, I also discuss my clinical experiences as well as some of my favorite dive trips that I've been on because I am an advanced scuba diver as well. But today's video is going to be done per request from one of my subscribers. After watching the initial EMT video of what is the journey and the pros and cons of becoming an EMT, one of my subscribers asked if I could kind of go into more detail about what are some things you can do to prepare for EMT school and how did you actually study for the EMT class and the exams and all that. So this video will just be a quick one addressing those questions. So stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you happen to be wondering why I have on a University of Rochester sweatshirt, I did complete a summer research program. It was called the SURF program at University of Rochester School of Medicine and Dentistry. And this was during between my sophomore and junior year in college over the summer. And a fun fact about that program, I actually earned my first and only research publication as a result of my work in the research lab during this summer research fellowship. So just a fun fact. I might end up doing a whole video about that program later. But let's get started with the EMT questions. So if you are thinking about going to EMT school, what can you do right now to prepare? My biggest suggestion would be to try to join a local fire and EMS station and at least try to get a ride-along schedule. If you can't join the station and join as an aide, which means you would just assist the EMT on the 911 calls, if you can't do that, then at least see if you can request to schedule a ride-along. And what that means is you'll be an observer. You won't touch anything. You won't have to ask any questions. You'll just go along with the ride and go wherever your crew goes that night, that shift. To me, that is extremely valuable because you will not only get to see if this is something that you can really do, but you'll also get to see what the ambulance is like, what kind of equipment is used. You'll get to get a little bit more familiar with the different things that are done when you're running calls instead of just coming into it blind. For me, when I initially joined the EMS station, I had no previous experience at a fire station, at an EMS station, or riding in an ambulance. And this was right after I got my EMT, then I joined the station. But to me, I was starting fresh. I was a brand new EMT and I had zero experience in an ambulance. So looking back on it, if you are able to get that ambulance riding experience, even if you're just observing, that will help you a lot. So once you get your EMT, you can just hop on the back of the ambulance and you'll know exactly what equipment you have, what you're working with, and what it's going to be like for you when you have to approach the scene. As far as what you can do to prepare for your national registry exams or your state practical exams, you will get most of your materials that you'll need to know and learn from when you start your EMT course. So they will give you everything. And I know every state is different, so you don't want to kind of get too far ahead of the game because you might be learning things that are not really up to protocol or up to standards of your state and your EMS locations. But in the state of Maryland, I know I found several examples of practice questions that you can do online, and you can literally hit any section you want. It can be CPR, it can be anatomy questions, splinting techniques, you name it, and it'll go through. You can hit whatever questions you might be weak on, or you might want to learn more about whatever topic. You can go right on these sites, and if you just Google them, you'll find tons of listings up there just for practice questions if you want to get a jump start. But really my main thing about those exams is really getting your practice. So when you're working on your skills for the EMT practical, practice on your family, your friends. I know I was at home in my basement and would do splint techniques and stuff on my parents and had them lay out and act like their leg was broken so I could splint their leg. Or I would practice my CPR techniques on them or on a pillow or something, just so I could have the muscle memory to know what are the steps that need to be done, boom, 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 and get them done. So I would say definitely practice. Once you actually get into EMT class, make sure you're kind of scoping out the class and seeing who could be your potential partner. Because when you actually take the practical exam, you get to have a partner. And your partner is typically going to be someone in your class. So keep your lookout for someone who, you know, they seem like they're motivated, they seem like they're studying hard, because you want a partner that's going to not only have your back, but they're going to know what to do as well. Because you can piggyback off of your partner a little bit, not too much, because you still have to know it for yourself, but having a good partner can also boost your confidence on the exam as well. So keep a lookout in your class once you actually start, and hook up with a good partner and then practice with them or practice with family and just get the stuff down memory so you know it. And whatever they give you on that practical test, you'll be able to jump in and do it 100% and get a passing score. Like I said, it's really going to be all right in front of you once you start your EMT course. You'll get all the online materials, you'll get the book, and all the materials that you will need to be successful in the course. And then it's up to you at that point to really apply yourself and learn all you need to learn to be able to complete the exams effectively. And it'll always help if you can get involved at a fire station, because you'll be surrounded by EMTs and paramedics who you can ask questions with, and you can familiarize yourself with the equipment, and just to see how it really works in the real world, I think will help a lot in your EMT class. So if there's any further questions, please leave a comment or send me an email at thealsoarc, ALSOARC@gmail.com. I will try to find some of the resources I use for practice questions, and I'll link them in the description box. That way you can have a quick link to get to some of those. But yeah, this is just a quick video just to follow up on my previous EMT. If you haven't watched that video, I'll put that one, the link in here as well, so you can check that one out. But thank you all for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful, and stay tuned for future videos.